welcome to another episode of Startup Hustle Middle East. Today we are so excited because we are at Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival and I'm here with Saeed Alnofeli. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Saeed is the programs manager of Sheraa. He's been with Sheraa for almost 3 years now and he's been integral in putting this event together. So we're so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Great. So can you tell us a little bit about your role as programs manager in Sheraa?
Yeah, so my role as programs manager is to help startups validate their ideas. So people come with, we say, napkin ideas. And then we help them validate that. And then they move into product development and then, the incubator stuff and then move them into business, get traction and then also get investment. So we help them along the way and they're all tech businesses. So we only take tech and tech enabled from idea to market. So that's our whole purpose in programs. Find their product market fit, I would say that's the word.
Okay, and how do you recruit these startups? Do they come and approach you? You have an open door?
Yes. So we have basically different stages that we bring in and then they apply and then we put them into programs. Right? So currently the design of the program, before we used to have different programs. So we used to have the Idea Lab, we call it. And then we had the pre-seed program and we had the seed and the Series A. Now we felt that we need to focus because so many numbers are coming in now as in applications. So what we did is we created a community called the Sheraa Startup Community. These guys go into a big pool of startups and they all apply for the seed program. And all of them have to do, basically we give them a checklist and then they have to reach their milestones. So basically I call it a Spartan race. Right? So everyone, because someone will come in as a hardware and someone who's software. Maybe the software will move faster. It's not about competition for you to get into the program. The competition is for you to move your milestone forward. So we give them a checklist, we give them a discounted license, we give them the legal support, we give them the business support with Sheraa coaches. We try to look at every element that the startup needs and then provide them with that. So let's say when you're in idea phase, you have milestones until you pass the idea phase and then you hit your problem solution problem solution fit. And then the next phase will be traction. So you build your product and you go to the market, you interview your customers and then you reach the traction milestone. And then after that is after traction they apply for the seed program and we take them when the MVP is ready. So seed program is a 6-week intense one-to-one program that will take very few startups from the 500 pool that we have to focus on driving down in their business and then highlight whatever flags and then try to fix it and then send them out to the market and tell them to go and pitch, raise investment and so on. And then we tell them, listen guys, now you have the next 6 months to 18 months to reach your product market fit, because whatever we done here is help you be prepared so you can go in. So then we have that mentorship for 6 to 18 months to see, refining their marketing strategy, refining everything that they have to do. So basically is a really intense program and we want people, the thing is it's about the mindset of people. Our part of the world, and I think everywhere is people are focusing on being in programs. It's like, if I don't get accepted to this university, that means I'm a failure. If I don't, we say no. Business is different. Business, you need to focus on your milestones, you need to hit your targets and you reach. It doesn't mean that you have to be programmed. So the people who we're training, some of them we will not take them into the program because they don't fit our category or so on. But we tell them, listen, this is the checklist. You reach your targets, go to the market, make your money and then grow yourself. It doesn't have to be. The program is, these are the people that we select that we can support. It's great because the mindset is more about building like a startup community rather than constantly creating the sense of competition. Absolutely,
I mean, competition is healthy and great, but I think it's nice because it's almost like you're providing the tools for these entrepreneurs to be accountable. Because I think what happens as entrepreneurs is sometimes, like, I come from a marketing background, so you can get too too bogged down on what is the name going to be, what is it going to look like, and everything, whereas someone else has some other interest. So having this checklist so that you hit all the criteria is quite important. So the startups that you do select, is there a particular thesis that you have as part of Sheraa, that do they need to be specifically tech focused or social impact? What is your agenda?
So we have a criteria that we select. Of course, first, if the problem is worth solving. So is it impactful?
Okay.
Is it impactful? Is it worth solving? Is it do they have the right team? Right? Is it a sector that we look at in Sharjah? So these are the elements that we do and we score, and these scorings, it's also based on judges, and then our final selection is how we select these startups. So some of them do qualify, some of them don't. So some of them are completely outside, that we don't want to support. Then we tell them, we're sorry, you can be part of the community and build your startup, but we don't support these type of businesses. But mostly I would say is tech and tech enabled is something that we look at.
Okay, great. And now it's been 3 years that you've put the Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival.
Yes, I've started with around 2,500, and it was in Sharjah Shooting Club when we got the first version of the Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival, and then it grew. Last year we had around 3,000, and impressively this year we have around 4,000. So and the venue has changed because we have grown so much. So I think it's like 3 times or 4 times the normal venue. So,
and honestly, it's been organized so well. You've got some amazing speakers coming in. So and usually events can be quite chaotic, but this one seems like it's like running on autopilot. I'm sure that that has taken a lot of effort to get here. But,
yes. Our team has been amazing. We're only around 20 employees.
Wow.
But the work that has been putting is just amazing. Yeah.
So which are the speakers from the event that this year that you've been most excited about?
I would say Akon. For me, and he's basically the star speaker. He's one of the star speakers. But I think, when I look at a story, always I look at where is the turning point, because even in my life there was a turning point that everything that changed. You're like, it's enough. I need to change the way I do. I need to change the way I behave. So the same thing with Akon. Even though a lot of people, when they start hearing what his story is, they like started to question what is he talking about. But the most important part is when his whole life turned around and he started selecting what he needs to do with his life. So he tied his whole life mission to what he's doing. Right? So you can see that this guy is actually living with a purpose. This guy, a lot of people know him as an artist, but they don't know what he did to Africa, providing electricity to all these people in Africa, which is amazing. So he's contributing hugely when many governments were not able to do that.
No, it was a very interesting talk, definitely. And to be honest, I did not know about Akon's entrepreneurial side as well.
A lot of them don't.
So it was really nice to get someone who may seem like an unlikely speaker, but then it makes complete sense that he's part of the program. So
another speaker, I would say, today actually it was Chris Gardner. He gave an amazing speech, and same thing with, he has a story. Right, we've seen the movie The Pursuit of Happiness, and for me it really impacted me in a big way. And looking at people and where they come from and how they struggled, you kind of see the similarities of people actually struggling, and then you see, you look at these turning points, what made them change, right? And then you can see that these guys have actually really struggled a lot. So I'm really looking at the stories and where it turned, because these are the times.
And this is the thing that can really inspire people and move them to action, right? Hearing stories like that.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us a little bit more about Sheraa and what you do?
So we've started, I would say now going to 4 years. I can't even count now anymore. But the whole point of the Sharjah Entrepreneurship Center, Sheraa, is to first promote the culture of entrepreneurship through events like this, the Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival, and also other events like Startup Sharjah, these hackathons and so on, is to deliver to people that tech entrepreneurship and education actually is here to support everyone. The second thing is build a world-class facility to give entrepreneurs an environment for them to flourish and not have any obstacles. So these are the main points. So me taking the second part, which is pushing many startups go into business in tech entrepreneurship, is very important. Yeah, and the other team, like our marketing team, is pushing the inspiration, even though I support, but they are driving that element.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually follow Sheraa on Instagram, and I keep seeing all these events that are happening, and I think that I get the sense that there is a lot of focus on building, prototyping, sketching and creating with hands rather than the format of learning being very lecture driven. Like it feels like the way of learning and the workshops are all very focused on doing and creating rather than just listening and observing. So I think that that is a very fresh take on entrepreneurship or teaching entrepreneurship. Do you also encourage university students?
Yes. We play a big part in going into universities and trying to promote entrepreneurship. So I'm involved in a lot of competitions and stuff like this in order to promote the culture of entrepreneurship. And the good thing is, when you're doing your work and you're focused into your work, people tap you and say, hey, I'm actually also using the model that you have published. So now universities are actually coming to us and saying, you know what, we've scanned the market and we saw that your model and the way you do it is actually great, and it actually fits in with what we want to do.
That's
and now
amazing.
you're with your intent of trying to deliver, people are actually noticing what you're doing. So it's really great.
That's amazing. That must be so rewarding.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Great. Amazing. So I think next for you is to judge who's going to be a judge. So as part of Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival, they have a competition for startups. So 70 startups pitched for a minute.
Yes.
That is tough.
Yes.
A minute, and 5 were shortlisted. And Saeed is going to be one of the judges who will be judging the second round. So it should be exciting.
Yes. So I've told the team that we need to get a really good judging lineup. This is for the startups to be able to also network with when we finish, because the struggle of finding investors and so on, the people who support the support system is kind of difficult. So I've like the first round with people with experience, people who are running accelerator, incubator, innovation centers in UAE, and people who are supporting entrepreneurs. And the second round, we wanted to have investors. So these guys who, when you throw this idea into them, then they start thinking, and they maybe after the competition they start saying, okay, you know what, I want to support you, right? Or maybe 6 months or 12 months down the line, they meet them and say, hey, I've done something after you judged me, right? So here is like a kind of a follow-up thing.
That's amazing.
And this is what we do also in our programs, is to have investors come and give them feedback. Okay, if you're not going to invest, but give me the feedbacks that I can go and use, instead of having someone, let's say from the government, who doesn't know about entrepreneurship or anything. So someone who's actually deep into that, and he's actually searching for startups. So it's the same concept that we want to do it for the competition.
Okay, great. That's amazing. Can you talk about some of the success stories from Sheraa?
Yeah, so we have two levels of startups, I would say. There's some startups who have built stuff and they came into our Series A program, and then we have startups who actually started from scratch, from idea. So one of our finalists is Caravan. So basically he's fixing the transportation that we have in Sharjah going to Dubai. So basically he's basically giving a platform for people to be able to transport. And he's already, he started with an idea, and the first time when he presented his idea, we actually told him, your idea is not going to work. So he worked on it, he sat down there until today. I would tell you that he finished all the programs. He got investment, and even WAMDA invested in him.
That's
so
amazing.
Yeah, so that's a very good success story, starting from nothing. And we have the likes of Bluefin. Maybe you've heard about Bluefin is the water cleaning robot that is going around Sharjah and Dubai. So this is one of the startups. Same thing, we supported from nothing, and then they become something.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have these, and we have bigger companies like Joy. We have ProTenders, who we supported as well. They were there in the market, but we helped them with the strategy and other things like Series A level. So we have these ones and these ones. See, you can see these are the little kids.
Scale,
exactly. These are the little kids, and these are the bigger ones. And maybe you heard it yesterday that our CEO announced that our startups have raised, all collectively have raised more than $50 million.
Wow, that's amazing.
In investment.
Wow, so, that's amazing. Very, very cool. I feel like one of these days we should get a podcast to Sheraa and take a walk around and speak to the entrepreneurs that you mentor and just get it really sounds like an amazing job that everyone from the team is doing. And what a great event. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right.